present about two different artists that have inspired me. This first person's name is John Rua, and the other person I'm talking about is my fiance. So I'll start with John Rua here. His sign name is like this, and the reason his sign name is like that is because he's an expert woodcarver. So he was born deaf, and they weren't sure how to communicate with him. And he was quite a lonely child, didn't have a lot of communication. So his whānau had a lot of experience with woodcarving, and so he watched those people creating their art and was really interested in it and learned from them. So he really had a close connection with that form of art. So he went to fielding school for the deaf and did a lot of woodwork there and built up his skills. So then he met his wife and they moved to, start with W, I can't remember the name, sorry, I'll have to have a look. And he was really, worked hard on his carving. Yeah. So they knew that John would become an expert carver, and they were really proud of him. They were very proud of his amazing work that he did. And he's still alive today. Mm. He's over 70 now, so yeah, he's still going, creating things. He's booked out for a year, so people go to learn from him, to learn his expert carving skills. So he's booked out a year in advance, so it's just amazing, the skills he can share. Mm-hmm. So, do you want to read that now? Have a look at what's up there, or have you had a chance to?
I've done that, yep.
So, a lot of people are really impressed with his beautiful work that he creates. It's really amazing. He doesn't talk well, he gestures and kind of shows people things in that way. He uses gesture and body language to show people things, but his literacy isn't great, so he has other people help him with things like that. But I found a website that had quite a lot of information on him if you're interested in having a look at that. Okay. So this here is some of John's artwork that he's created. He's got a lot of really great things throughout New Zealand. In Christchurch, there's I'm just going to check which was it? Oh, in Aranui, the Nahoe Wha. Yep. Yeah, that marae. You can see the entrance there. So he's created these parts here. And also at the Christchurch Museum, there's also some of his work there, some of his artwork. Yeah, so they do have his name display with his artwork. And also at Ara, they've got some work there as well, some of his carving. But throughout New Zealand, there's pieces of his work, like at Malai and Rotorua and Auckland. There's lots of different places that he's created work for. So he's got a really impressive amount of work that he's done. So at Deaf Club, we've also got some of his work proudly presented there. Yeah, I think that's all I need to say about that page. So I just wanted to talk about my connection to him, that he's really an inspiring person.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, he's amazing. So I would love to meet him again. He's a very busy man though. Yeah, I think maybe that's the last one I've got on John. And yeah, so this is my fiance. Yeah, this is from about 2016, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, my boy's just small there. It's funny to see.
Right.
So Sam, for a long time, has worked very hard advocating for Māori deaf, for what they need, special education, access, all of those sort of things. There's a lot of people that say that they can't. There's a lot of barriers, so he's just never given up and continues to advocate and works really hard for the Māori deaf community. So he's got 3 different, maybe that's the next slide, I think. Yes, talking about the different areas that he works in, the boards that he's on. So, sorry, I didn't have a logo for this one here, to Tangata Turi. So, that's the symbol that they've got. It's, you know, like the carvings where they have the body with the hands on their hips. So we didn't have a symbol for that, but I did have a symbol for the other boards that he's on. So he's very busy. He's finished up with this board. He did 2 years on the Deaf Aotearoa board. And now he's working hard on the NZSL board, New Zealand Sign Language board, and also on Ko Takareo, the deaf school here in Christchurch, throughout New Zealand. So Sam had heard a lot from Māori deaf parents that it was really difficult for their children at a special school to be able to access that education, and often other things were focused on, so it was a difficult place for them. So it is hard to find the right way to be able to get them to access that, but you know, when they have a deaf Māori child, it's difficult to know how to make sure that they can connect with their deaf and Māori culture, and they're just trying to make good decisions on the information that they have available to them, whether they send them to the deaf school or a local school. So the Sign Language Board, they've got New Zealand Sign Language, where it's like English Sign Language, and then they've also got an area where they're working on Te Reo signs. So that, that's work in progress. So earlier this year, Sam flew up to Waitangi and was able to see the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, just here. I was so jealous we got to go to that. And you can see here, this lady here, her name is Stephanie. And she's a New Zealand Sign Language interpreter, but also can interpret between Te Reo and New Zealand Sign Language, so it's amazing to watch her work. It was last year, Sam flew up to, was it Hawke's Bay or Napier? I'm not sure. It was somewhere around that area for a hui about deaf, blind, lots of different, pan disability sort of hui, and that was quite a big challenge, and he was really struck at that hui. He was really interested to be involved in that and try and provide support for all people with disabilities. There were Māori blind people there, and it was really great for him to be able to speak with those people through interpreters, and thinking about Māori men who can't see their art form, but they have really, they're able to hear their history and their culture, and so they've got really good knowledge in that way. So it was amazing that, blind people were still able to access their Māori culture. So Stephanie works out of Auckland. That's it, that's me, done. Yeah, thank you. Any questions do you have about them? No? Oh,
Beautiful.
good. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.